often hear guitar players saying, true tone lives in the touch and not in the gear. And it's true. The way you play the strings, the touch, the intensity, the intention, these are all choices that come from within you, shaped by your unique style, emotion, and experience. It's also true that a great piece of gear can help you shape your tone to a much more personal and unique level. So in this video, sponsored by Fishman, we will take a look at their line of pedals and how they can shape your tone so you can finally match your feel to your sound. I'm going to be using my Massimo Varini signature into the pedals, straight into the Loudbox Mini, so I get more gain and control over the EQ, and finally into my UAD Apollo Twin. Let's jump right in with the Acustiverb, a beautiful 3-knob, 3-type reverb voiced for acoustic guitar. Now, the number one thing I want from a reverb is to never change the tonal quality of my instrument, and this mini pedal does a great job. The effect is blended in parallel, which means that everything you move here affects the effect and not your direct sound. A little trick I do with the reverb is to put the decay time quite high. So the reverb is quite long, but I keep the level, which is the volume of the reverb, and the tone, which is the quality of the reverb, quite low. This gives you an incredible room sound without degrading your sound. This pedal offers 3 types of reverb: spring, hall, and plate. The spring reverb, often associated with a vintage amp, has a distinctive boingy sound due to the actual metal spring creating the reverb. Now, of course, this is, digitally created, but emulates the same effect. It's quite bright and has a unique metallic sound. The hall reverb emulates the natural reverberation that occurs in large spaces like concert halls. It provides a sense of space and depth, making the sound feel like it's in a large open area. Now you got 2 options here. With the knob you can either have a smaller room or a much bigger room. I really enjoy this one. And then the last one is the plate reverb, which basically uses a large thin sheet of metal, the plate, to create the reverb effect. It is bright, dense, and has long decay. Let's try this one. Is the BlueChorus, a beautiful chorus effect. Chorus is an audio effect that thickens and enriches the sound of the guitar by creating one or more copies of the original sound. These copied signals are then slightly delayed and pitch modeled to create slight variations in pitch and timing between the original and duplicated signals, adding a sense of movement and depth to your tone. Now, this one is a gentle chorus and it doesn't attack your signal. With the chorus, I like to keep the rate, which is the speed of the effect, quite low. I don't like it when the chorus gets too wavy, and so I keep it quite low. Let's see what happens when we put it up. Now let's add some reverb. You got three different types of choruses: analog, vintage, and classic. My favorite is the classic chorus. I like how clear it sounds, and you can go from a mild chorus like this one to a more vintage and modulated sound. So let's change it up a little bit. I'm gonna add more of the depth, and this one slightly up. Let's take a look at my last two favorite pedals, the delay and the loop pedal. There's nothing more fun than using a delay. You can see the quality of these pedals by the fact that even though the delay is quite loud here, it still runs along or parallel to the guitar sound and not on top of it. You can hold the switch to activate the tap tempo, or you can use the delay time to set the speed of the delay. If you dial it down, the repetitions are closer to each other and they get spaced out as you turn the knob clockwise. Right now, I like to have it around here. So based on what I'm playing, I'm getting a dotted quiver, creating a quite interesting and unique rhythm. There are three types of delay available: analog, tape, and digital. The analog delay is super interesting and is designed to reproduce the warm, lush character of the legendary Beckett Brigade delays from the 80s, also known as BBD, consisting of a series of capacitors that pass the signal along a chain controlled by a clock. The sound is quite interesting. And of course, last but not least, the digital delay is the most pristine and bright of them all, which is also what I use the most, since it has such a clear and bright tone. Now, having all these effects is cool, but if you can loop your ideas while using all these things, then it's even more fun. Let's talk about Broken Record, which is a looper and a sampler. It basically allows you to record your ideas and loop them. It's super simple to use. and it's very intuitive. Now you start recording by tapping the foot switch once, and then tap it again when you want the loop to start. Now I'm curious to know your thoughts. What do you think about those pedals? Do you like them? Do you own pedals for your acoustic guitar? And most importantly, do you own a loop pedal? I think it's one of the most creative effects that a guitar player should own. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.